Hello, this is Sid and Millie Chats. I'm Sid, this is Millie, and we invite you to be a fly on our wall. So today we will be talking about the Manchester United versus Arsenal game. It's the first loss in the Ruben era, so what are your thoughts on that, Millie?
It honestly wasn't probably as bad as it would be perceived as. I think overall, Arsenal has been a title contender over the last couple of years. They obviously haven't won anything, but they play the very like anti-football style of like soccer now that we're seeing. So it's kind of expected in games like this. So what we saw in the first half, especially, was as soon as United had pressure, got into wide areas, Arsenal sat back in their shell, had all 11 players sat back behind the ball, very comfortable defending in that shape, which is fine. But I mean, you can tell from how the first half was, it was kind of very anticlimactic in a lot of ways. And that was just, it's kind of caused because of that, like, very low defensive block that they sit into around their 18. And then on the flip side of that, they really want to get their set pieces. The set pieces are a big part of their game. And 4 games in, I don't think probably Ruben hasn't got to the set piece board yet. So I don't think losing on 2 corner kicks, no open play goals is going to hurt us too bad. I think at the end of the day, they got their win. It wasn't pretty the way they did it, and they were unable to break our team down in open play. So I think that speaks volumes to the squad that we're building.
Yeah. With that, what are some challenges that Manchester United faced in the game today?
That's a really good question. I think some of the challenges that United faced today would be, probably the biggest, most obvious one is the set pieces. Kind of clear as day, Arsenal they ran the same play multiple times. They set all their guys at the far post, and then as soon as the service is coming in, they all flood the 6-yard box, the keeper, that entire area, make an entire mess of it. Our solution of trying to like zonal defend probably wasn't the best way to deal with that. Probably in that situation, you probably want to man mark every single one of them, start with them at the far side of the 18, and then clear the 6-yard box for Onana. So when that ball comes in, Onana's got a free catch. But because we were trying to zonal mark in that area, there was just so many bodies waiting already in that area. So it kind of forces Onana to stay on his line, and then obviously all of our guys are standing, we're stagnant, and then they're sprinting from the back post.
Right, so kind of gives them that momentum into it.
Bingo, yeah. So they have the momentum, and then, when you're running and jumping, you're always going to have an advantage over someone who's standing and jumping. So,
yeah.
So that's a bit unlucky. Well, I guess not unlucky, just a little bit of disorganization, but obviously this is a key point of Arsenal's game. So again, I don't think United is going to spend 100 hours a week working on set pieces like the opponents clearly did. So I think as far as like in the run of play, United, there were a lot of positives to take away from the game. I think probably what we struggled with were creating like real clear-cut like finishing opportunities. In the first half, again, like we had a lot of the ball, but we were just lacking kind of that decisiveness. But I don't think it was like negative at all. There will be games like that where we'll have a lot of possession, and we just have to figure out what is going to be that incisive pass to break down the opposition. So yeah, we were unable to do that in the first half, but I think there are already good signs. You already saw how much respect Arsenal was giving United throughout the game. I mean, the fact that we had them sat back so deep while we were maintaining possession, possessing around them, Bruno pulling the strings in the midfield, it kind of just speaks volumes to what the new formation is allowing us to do. Yes, they broke out a few times, but every time the collapse of the formation into the defensive shape allowed us to, prevent them from creating really anything like truly dangerous. So Onana had a few good saves, but again, I mean, one of his best saves was off of a corner kick. So it's like, I mean, in the run of actual football, there wasn't a ton United could have done better. I mean, obviously there will be areas to improve in the midfield, closing down. But again, this is allegedly one of the best teams in the Premier League that United played today, and overall they showed that they can hang. So
Yeah.
so very positive. But yeah, those would be some of the challenges: creating dangerous opportunities when we have possession, defending better on set pieces. You know, whatever that looks like, whether it's man marking, you know, watching a little bit more film of the opponents, whatever that looks like. So yeah, those are some of the challenges. But I think again we are missing some key players, missing Mainu, missing Lisandro Martinez, and then again Ruben made some changes to the lineup again as well. So we saw Amon drop to the bench, Rashford drop to the bench. So as he keeps shifting players, keeping that freshness, keeping that fluidity, you gotta just keep going. I think really the bounce back is going to be very important. You know, how do we bounce back from this? That would be the key point.
Despite the result, what were some positive takeaways from the game today?
Again, despite the result, we had a lot of possession, showed that we can play against big teams, demanded respect, forced, again, one of the better teams in the Premier League to sit back and defend against us. So I think we got good minutes for important players. Euro came back, was unbelievable when he came in. Harry Maguire came back in. It was his first game back from his injury and was phenomenal for the 45 minutes, or I don't know exactly how much he played. I think he played a little over half, but like great performance from Maguire. Love to see that. I really hope the team defensively. I think De Ligt was massive again. Mazraoui, we know, was phenomenal, 10 out of 10. Bruno was really pulling the strings in the midfield, helped us maintain possession. We didn't see today as many times, you know, maybe like losing possession in moments. Ugarte was phenomenal in the midfield, did a great job. Pairing with Bruno, so that was good to see. Amon was fantastic when he came in. Højlund was fighting the entire game. It was kind of a rough one for him, but you know, Arsenal is a good side, so at the end of the day, rough. Honestly, overall, I think like it really wasn't a bad performance. I don't have any alarm bells going off. Watching the game, if anything, like, the only thing that frustrated me was really the corner kicks. But again, like, if you're playing a team that is working on that, like online, the rhetoric they're calling them the new Stoke City, which is kind of crazy. But essentially, like in the old Premier League, that was like a team that like they would sit in against you, make it impossible to score a goal, but then they would get a set piece against the run of play, score every single one of them. So many late winners, especially against like the big six clubs. So. Yeah, it's interesting to see. At the end of the day, we're 4 games in. The bounce back is going to be important. I think we're still calm. We're still excited for what the Ruben era has in store. And we just drew Arsenal for the FA Cup in a couple of weeks. So at the end of the day, it might be early to play a big team in a cup, but little rematch. Little grudge match. It might be nice now that we know what to expect from them now. We know that we can play with them in the run of play. Now we just have to figure out the set pieces, create a few chances of our own, and we've put them to bed. Again, I think very positive, showing that we can hang with any of these teams, especially a title contender. So good signs over here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are our thoughts on the Manchester United versus Arsenal game.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, please like and subscribe. See ya. Up the Reds, the real Reds, who play exciting football.